What's going on, YouTube? Legend here once again. This time at you again with some more Genshin Impact. That's right. And this time I want to talk to you guys about a decision that a lot of people are having a lot of trouble coming to. And that decision is looking like it's going to be whether it's something for Kokomi, Raiden, or Ayato, right? Now, the thing is, because we do have the Kokomi and Raiden banner coming up, and Ayato's coming in 2.6, of course. So people are kind of just confused. They don't know what to do, you know? I mean, a lot of people think it's just a clear-cut decision. Raiden is, of course, the best, so on and so forth. But, like, is it really that easy a decision? So let me try and break that down for you and trying to help you come to a decision, because everybody has different accounts. They have different characters. They have different setups. So not everybody has the same answer, all right? So let me try and see if I can figure this out for you guys. So let's talk about some of the advantages of each person and what they really bring to the table, and hopefully that kind of so you can see kind of which one sounds most attractive to you. And let's start with Kokomi, right? So the thing is with Kokomi, right? A lot of people just say, oh, no brainer, she's bad, so on and so forth, but that's not exactly the case anymore. The thing with Kokomi is that she initially had a bad rap, mainly because, like, when she came out, she was going against Raiden, one of the most hyped characters, to come out in the game, right? And had one of the highest sales. So people who were spending money, probably out of money and out of primogens by the time the banner was over, right? Another thing was the fact that she wasn't useful, right? Like, we didn't need another healer. Like, people had their healers. We had our Jeans, we had our Chi-Chis, we had everybody, right? We had our Dionas, Bennett, blah blah blah. And then when it comes to Kokomi, it's like, we don't need that much healing. So, like, what are you doing here? You know, there's Hydro application, but there was many other characters that can fulfill those roles. You had Child, who's like the best enabler. He applies Hydro the fastest. You had Xingqiu, who does it off field, absolutely great. You know, you had, you know, Barbara, who could heal, you know, whatever. And then we had Mona, who like does damage amplification, right? So it's like we kind of had all bases covered, right? But that's the thing, you know, but not all bases completely, because Kokomi does have a specific advantage to that, right? So now kind of the thing is, she has more uses now, right? Because we have characters like Shenhe that works with Ayato, so you want to have double cryo there. So you need a Hydro applicator, and you still want to have Kazuo on the team. So in that situation, Kokomi is in right there, right? Same thing if you want to do taser teams. If you want to have Kazuo in there, like, Kokomi will fulfill the role of healer and Hydro applicator. She does a lot of role consolidation, right? So that's kind of what gives her more use nowadays, because even though she might not be able to maximize damage the most, she just opens up possibilities for more team comps, right? And also too, she improves survivability, right? So if you're kind of somebody who's having trouble staying alive, you know, you don't have Zhongli, or you don't have two Zhonglis, you know, and you're having trouble, like you're doing some damage, but the enemies are killing you, Kokomi is going to make it very comfortable for you to stay alive, similar to how Zhongli does, right? Because she's constantly healing. Even though she doesn't do the big burst heal like Jean does, she constantly just heals. So that's going to be an advantage also. So she kind of makes things more comfortable for you, right? And also too, like, she's a character that doesn't crit, right? That was one of the things that people didn't like either. And the fact that she doesn't crit means that you don't have to pull and roll for crit substats, and that alleviates a big burden off your back, because you can give her low investment. You can have trash pieces as long as you have the right substats. She's good to go, right? Just make sure she has a good enough energy recharge, and you're good to go, you know. So that's the thing when it comes to that. She's real easy to use and makes the game a lot easier too, right? But those are a couple of things when it comes to Kokomi, right? But now let's talk about Raiden, right? Now Raiden, like I've said it in a previous video, I personally think Raiden at C2 is the best character in the game. That is my opinion, you know. It's very subjective, you know, but that's what I think, because of everything that she brings to the table, right? Now, She's possibly the best sub DPS because not only does she do decent damage, even at C0, she does do decent damage. She's also supporting the team as she's doing that. She's like, as you can see right here, she's refilling the burst of the team as she's doing this damage, right? C2 just makes it even better, but she still does it at C0, right? So that's the thing. So this, in my opinion, does make her future-proof too, because not only is it E also 100% uptime, that E also buffs the bursts of the characters that are on the field during the E duration. So that's, to me, that's great. Honestly, that's awesome, because it's like that makes her future-proof, right? Because there's always going to be characters that have high burst costs. And there's always going to be characters that want their burst boosted, right? Like, unless they just blatantly make a character that just does all these things better, I highly doubt that's going to happen. She's future-proof. She's going to be useful for a long time, right? So that's why I think Raiden's one of the best picks overall, just generally, right? And also, too, she has some of the strongest team comps, like Eula Raiden, busted, right? I don't care what constellation Eula is at. That's a busted team comp right there because of the things that she has, where the energy recharge and buffs on bursts, right? You also have Raiden National, which everybody talks about because everybody loves National, so on and so forth. And Raiden National is pretty strong. And also there's, Mono, Electro, that's really strong right now that Ye's here. And then also you have Hyper Carrier Raiden, who is probably the strongest, one of the strongest teams in the game. So yeah, another thing also too is that, when it comes to like her constellations, right? A lot of people might think that this might be a negative, that her C2 is so powerful. They might think that, oh, that's bait. But honestly, I do think that's a good thing because it gives her the power of a C6 character early on. So like low budget spenders or small spenders and so on and so forth do have access to that high level of power, right? So that's the thing. So that's the thing when it comes to Raiden. But then we got Ayato, right? Now Ayato, I'll tell you right now, I have seen Ayato, right? I've seen him in dreams, I should say. And Ayato was looking pretty good. I've already made a video about him before, on what I think about him and the value that I think he's going to bring. And I made this video before his kit was even released, before the beta even started. I made a video on that, basically just on the sole fact that knowing that he is going to be Hydro, right? Now, a lot of things might have been on the right track with some of the things that I was saying within that video. So check it out too, He's looking pretty good. I don't imagine a world where Ayato comes out and he's not meta, right? Chances are he's gonna be DPS. Being somebody who is a damage dealer that is Hydro, right? That makes that character extremely useful, right? Because Hydro is a very useful element, because look at Kokomi. For the sole fact that she applies Hydro, makes her a good unit. So if somebody's a damage dealer and applying Hydro, that's one thing. Some people might say, oh, Child, this and that, maybe Child's not that good. Child is good, number one, so calm that down. But also number two, the thing with Child is that he's just not designed to be an actual main DPS, right? So he doesn't do as much damage as the top tier DPSs. He's more so somebody that allows the off-field DPSs to do more damage, right? So that's the thing when it comes to that. But Ayato seems like he's going to be somebody that's going to be doing the damage, right? So when it comes to that, you can put him in freeze teams, you can put him in vape teams, you can put him in taser teams, you can put him in whatever team that you want, any element, right? I mean, yeah, Geo's not going to do too much with him, but like even Dendro coming out has to be compatible with Hydro. Like, I can't, like, we don't know what Dendro's gonna do, but like it has to be compatible with Hydro. Like, it just has to be. That doesn't make sense if it isn't. So that's just another thing right there. So I imagine he's gonna be another top tier DPS, right? So, and also Hydro damage dealer seems to be pretty rare in the game. The closest we have is Child, right? And there's stipulations with him, as we talked about. So like, he's a rarity, right? So that's the thing too. So that's another thing to keep put into context. So now to kind of wrap this up, you know, it's to choose between the different characters is honestly, you got to look at, for Kokomi, if you need more comfort in the game, if you need to improve your survivability, if you're having a tough time surviving throughout the content, if you're constantly getting killed, you're dying, you don't have a Zhongli, or you need somebody that's like Zhongli on the other team, and so on and so forth, right? Then it might be time to get Kokomi, right? You don't have any Hydro characters. You don't have any Hydro characters, then yeah, you should get Kokomi. Raiden is honestly my personal #1 pick. She will supply you damage and she'll supply you utility, right? So that's the thing when it comes to that. I would do that. I actually would even put getting Raiden C2 above Kokomi. But if you have Raiden, you know, really consider that. If you have Raiden and you really don't have any Hydro characters, then consider that. But for the most part, I think that Raiden is proven to be a top tier character, right? Then you have Ayato, who's also going to be a damage dealer. Ayato is someone you get when you need more damage on your account, right? And you already have Raiden, right? Raiden C0. I think Ayato is going to be more useful than Raiden C2. That's what I think. So if you need another damage dealer, you don't have enough damage, and you have Raiden, I think it is time for you to get Ayato. That is what I think. That's my opinion when it comes to that. But let me know what you guys think, right? What is your situation? Which one is going to be the best for you? And did this help you come up with a decision? That's my take on it. That's my advice. Let me know what you guys think. Comment your thoughts down below. And if you like content like this, you know, like the video, of course, and subscribe to the channel to get more content like this. And with that, I'll end it there. Legend out.